Welcome to the Hampshire 1900s start for Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. And we're picking up on the 7th of September 1962, which means South Sea is just about to go into its first winter. Now, to give you a bit of an update of where we are here, things got off to a little bit of a shaky start, partly down to the fact that I misjudged the range to these first two blocks here. So what I had to do is put in some emergency J apartments around the back here. And I'm building another one just here, just to get another 100 population in, because we got a little bit of surplus going. And I fixed this problem by putting in more water and sewage over here. If I go into here, you can see I've built these sewage lines. So we will be able to utilize these buildings eventually. We just need to put the necessary facilities in to be able to get them operational. Now, one problem I have got is that this station here doesn't have power, which means the tram system isn't exactly working. Plus, I don't think I've really got the population. Oh, great. We've got a fire here, but we've got the fire cruiser here. Maybe the crazy arsonist is back. Well, this one's empty as well. Okay. I think this one doesn't have some drainage either, So I've got a problem that we need to get the heating workers out here to provide the heating. You can see we've managed to get one worker out here, which is as good as useless. So, and I've kind of been thinking that I'm going to need a bus stop out here. But what we're going to do to begin with is we're going to put a free bus stop here. Like that. And then I'm going to get a couple of buses. Oops, over a shot. Where this economy is getting so big now I can't actually find anything. And we're just going to buy a couple of buses. I'm going to go for speed over capacity. Get two of those. And the idea is going to be is that that's going to annoy me as well. That's not going to go away. The idea is going to be is we'll set up a temporary bus route from here down to here, and we need to do it before the temperature gets too low, because what we need to do is build up the heat tank so that we can get things going in that direction. Now, the other thing I want to do is I was thinking about this off camera, and what I do need is a bus stop. But the question is, where am I going to put it in? Oh, the other thing also, I did get a comment about my excessive concentration of building here. I'm going to be completely upfront. I've given up in this game actually trying to get a maximum workforce for a specific industrial area for two reasons. One, I inevitably find that I want to add extra industries or some other form of workforce. And secondly, there is productivity. So for example, if we come into here, you can see at the moment we've only got workers in here of 88 productivity. But what happens when something goes wrong, that productivity drops. So I always like a little bit of potential overcapacity built into my area. I just want to check that that's the... Yeah, I just like that little bit of extra capacity, or the option to add extra capacity, because just for an example here is that we will be building a tourism industry down here, but how big it gets will depend on how big the workforce is going to be in this area. Plus there's also the thing which I'm just going to talk about now, which is is actually providing a workforce for maintenance. And actually I'll kind of keep looking at this. I think what I might do is put a small, or just tuck a small bus stop in there next to the tram depot, like that. Although strictly speaking, this doesn't need to be. Now, what this bus stop is going to be for is for workers for a construction office that I'm going to need to put down here to provide the maintenance, not just for this area, but for this area, because I think I just want to check while we're at it. If I come to you, you're at maximum range. See, strictly speaking, this art construction office will provide maintenance for this area and this area. The trouble is, this office is already covering a large area. So what it means is that we only need one reasonably sized construction office down here. Say, I mean, I'm not going to plan it at the moment, but say a 12 slot, or where's my favourite little one which I like? Where are you? Is this horse barn? It's got 10 spots. And what that's going to do is just to do enough maintenance. But at the same time, I don't need to put 2 construction offices down here, because the construction office up over there will provide the range to maintain the construction office that will be doing the maintenance, if that makes sense. So that's another thing that you need to consider. Just want to see if those buses have shown up. Yeah, they have. Good. Right, what we're going to do is get you down here, put you onto there. You're going to pick up workers, and you are going to take them directly to the heating plant. And then we're, oops, thank you, Gabe. Go up to Warstock. I think 2 buses should be enough. I don't, because we're probably going to have to put in a minimal workforce anyway. Put line spacing in, put you on there, and we'll get. And then once the buses are running, what we'll do is allocate one of these, probably one of these, to provide the workforce to here. And then what that will mean is that we'll get some heating going in here. That will fill up the heating tanks before the winter actually comes in. It's very important when you set up a heating plant is to get this tank up to 90 degrees before the actual winter sets in, if that makes sense. There's no point doing it because it will take time for that to actually build up. I think this is about all we got here now. Now the next thing I want to show you is up here. We've now, where is it? Where's the farm? We've now got this farm operational. What I will do is I've got this combine. We're gonna send you to there. Might as well use you. Now what I've done is I've suspended deliveries to here, but added the deliveries to here. Now the dilemma I've got is how we're going to clear out the fuel and fertilizer and liquid fertilizer from here. I think I might have to do it with trucks just to try and get this done. But we now got this farm operational. I need to keep an eye on that because once we get to December, I need to move over the vehicles. I mean, I could do it. I could move the. Oh, we got out of date combines here. Okay. So what we need to do is replace the combines here. How many combines have you got in here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Got 5. Got 5. Well, we don't need to spend the money just at the moment anyway. So this is beyond moving into South Sea, things seem to be okay. If I go down to Milford-on-Sea, things are going here, but what you will see here now is we've now got the space for the new farm here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if we can get in. That's not going to work, is it? Don't tell me I've wasted my time. Can't build because of infrastructure. Okay, we can get you in there. I think what I will do is we will asphalt that, and we will build in this road here. What I most likely will do is reshape these roads over time. I don't know. And we're not, so that we can get this built in, and then eventually we will remove this farm as well. Building on fire. Let's see where that actually is. Okay, it's well inside the Eastleigh. So if we could scoot back to Milford-on-Sea, an area that I want to start working on now is over at Lymington. We need to start planning residential property and stuff like that here. We do have the basics of sanitation in, and the water is coming together quite nicely. Although I don't think I've actually put in a... Oh, so we've got the water substation coming in from there. So we've got the beginnings of getting life into here. I'm still working on these two rail lines here so that we can run the rail track into here. Now, something else I'm going to show you, and I'm going to warn you in advance. This is, from a game perspective, is pretty pointless. What I did was I had a little bit of a boring afternoon, or I wouldn't say boring, but a rare afternoon when I had nothing to do. And I was kind of going through and looking at the map, because this is what I do sometimes. I just come in, I don't do it very much. I just look round where the potential development is. And then I thought, well, I would really like to do this. So what I've planned is a highway up through here. Well, we need to remove you. Get rid of you. So what I've done is we've got a 2-lane highway, or motorway, whatever you want to call it, autobahn, up through here. I've planned a road connection all the way to here, to Ringwood. Again, it's pretty pointless, to be honest. I put this junction in because I was looking at the terrain here. You can see that this is pretty flat. So what I'm thinking long term is a small little, develop this small border town here. And then what we're going to do is put in 2 major farms in this area, which will, if we put a farm in here, we can go across into this area, which isn't quite so flat. So, and then we got Lyndhurst over here as well. And then what we got is the highway comes up here, comes across through here, and then connects up with Southampton here. So we're going to have this massive highway which will be built slowly over time. But from a point of view, as I say, from the point of view of the game, it's not going to be that practical. I mean, there's no way we're going to send trucks from here to deliver down along this highway. But I think when it's finished, it'll look pretty interesting. If you see it on the main map here, it's so big you can see the way it runs across and down. But of course the real transport link is going to be the rail. The rail is going to be pretty important in the long term, because just to give you a wider idea of what we're going to be doing out here, we've got a nuclear power plant on this corner. We've also got the oil down here on this area here, so we're going to need to develop this, which means we're going to need to develop Bewley, because this will provide both the fire protection and the oil refining here. Although in reality, Bewley itself, actually this isn't Bewley, looks more like a place called Buckler's Hard, where back in the medieval days they used to build ships down the main between the buildings. But this is going to get a little bit bigger, because we're going to get an oil refining capability here, and so we're going to have nuclear power in the center, oil refining, and we also got a little bit of coal down in the same area. But we're going to have to choose whether we want coal or oil. And to be honest, I think oil's going to take the priority, though what most likely we'll do is put in 1 coal mine. Don't know where it would be. Let me just see if we can If I click that, see if we can find a reasonable coal mine here. Yeah, when we got 43% there and 40% there. Let's have a look at the oil. Technically, we could build a coal mine here and an oil if we push the land out. But oil is going to be far more important because that's a shorter resource. Right, before I update you about Eastleigh, we're going to come back to here. The buses are running now. And what we're going to do is tell you lot to go there 100%. The advantage of doing this is send it to the bus stop. If they don't get enough work from the buses, they will. What will happen is that they will go and find other jobs to do, like the water next door. Okay, this is nearly finished. I'm not sure I want to bring in anybody else just at the moment, because I want these guys to kind of catch up with their work. What I am going to do is, we've got 493, train waiting too long. Okay, that's important. Oh, not that important, to be honest. What's happening here is we're electrifying in this area here, so this guy will sort himself out over time. Right, let me just look for vacant flats. 3 flats. Just see, because I did turn off a couple of buildings. So, oops, there's a slot here for 16. You can let those in. Okay, any more vacant flats around here? Nope. That one's thing. I must have let the workers flow back into here. Building on fire. That's Maidstone. Sorry. Flash back across the map. Oh, that'd be well under control. Let's get back over to here. Okay, there's no... It says -1 there. Okay, so you're a little bit over the top. Okay, we've got no free flats there. And we come into here. We've got no free flats in Eastleigh. How about... Okay, we've got 231 here. Let me just... 231, let's see. Yeah, I think we can let them flow into here. We're probably going to create unemployment, but technical services, that should be okay. Oh well, we also got another one here as well. Actually, just stop you, and we might need to put in some extra work here. Miss that out. With this store, I'm feeling you might be... Oh, you are in range of the store, so that's good. To absorb up those extra 21s here. That will create unemployment. Yeah, 33 people without jobs. But I'm trying to think. You've got a kindergarten there. Unemployment too high. Yes, I know. Got an indoor port. Just want to make sure all these are working at maximum capacity. Yeah, you're at maximum capacity. Yeah, I know you're all complaining, but you will settle down. Oh, we can absorb a little bit of workforce here with the fire trucks. Let me just see which fire trucks we need. I know it's technically unnecessary, but we're going to need the SKD one of you. I'll bring in some extra fire coverage here. Warstock, Old Opera House, that should be okay. Anyone complaining about the fact that you've got no jobs? Your maximum. Your maximum. Your maximum. Okay. We now have the cableway. Don't want workers anyone in here at the moment because you can't go anywhere. The only positive side is the fact if they go there, they could wander down to there, but they're already close to that anyway. Right, so we've got to find some work for these guys. This is already repair crew here is fully occupied. Well, you guys are just gonna have to live on the unemployment until we get this operating. I can come back to that. I have got a grand plan for over here, but there's no point overloading this lot just at the moment. Anyway, we're going to scoot back to Southsea. I'm on the 21st of October. We don't need tourists and passengers. Just need workers in here. How are we doing? Yeah, because this is going to be working in a kind of overcapacity type position. What's that there? That's a pavement road. Oh, did I lay what by accident? Oh well. Okay, anyway, we've absorbed some more of that population. I mean, in many ways, even if you've got unemployment, I mean, the unemployment isn't that bad. But sometimes the unemployment is better than having over 21s. Okay, we're building this through here. Right, so we've now got what I needed to do. What I want to do now is get back over to here. So that we can now make a start on the planning a bit more up here with respect to Lymington. Because we've got the old town here, and in the last part we put the heating in here, and of course we've got this down here. So what I want to do here is start putting in. Okay, game. I've got to check whether I like it or not, because well, this one's still doing his thing. Okay, he's now pushing out here. I'm trying to get all this electrified. One, so that I can start using it more. And the other reason is that I want to be able to have that ability to get... Oh, we got... what we got here? W50 snowplow. That is something definitely worth looking at. Let me just see. Where are you? Let's sort by. Oh, it looks like it's. There it is there. That's now that's okay because it's got an 80km maximum speed, 19km ploughing speed. Our current model we're using for snow plough is the ammo 15 F15. Where are you? Ammo F15. Let's see here. This has still got a ploughing speed of 35 kilometers, so even though it's slower, it's still better in its own way. Oh, what was that? Today, comrades, W50. Okay, so it looks like the W50s are coming in. And that means, let's have a look at the W50. Oops, not that one. It's meant to be here. Let me just see. Refrigeration. Game work. Just sort by start production. That's not bad actually for delivering to shops and things like that. 80 kilometers an hour, 2 tons of meat. I think that could be a good substitute for refrigeration. See, this is 2.5, but it's only got a top speed of 31. Maybe it's time I looked at what's the MAS 200? That's 65, 4 tons. Let's have a look, search by capacity, the opposite way round. Refrigeration. You're 4 tons. You're not. You're the ZIL 130. 2.5 tons. Actually, I quite like that, and it's cheaper. So we're going to replace you with that. I think these are the 4-ton ones. We can stay that. We got one large one as well. Where's the pollution warning then? Thank you, game. Why have I got pollute? Oh, wow. 93%. Yeah, we've got a pollution hotspot here. I can guarantee you that's coming out of this area here. What's causing that then? This isn't working. Do we have a waste overflow here? Anything like that? Have a look. That's a bit suspicious. Well, it shouldn't be spreading to Milford-on-Sea. So it should be okay. I mean, we've got a lot of stuff in here. Right, these guys have started doing their thing. Just get back to checking. This guy is... We're both at 80. This one's at 80%. Just to show you over here, actually, while we're at it. I think I showed you this in the last part. This guy's still got 18,925 work days to building this tunnel. This is going to be a painful process. Right, back to Leamington. Let's get rid of that. What I want to do is, because we've got this building here, it says no power. Right, actually, while I'm at it, I'm going to reduce you right down to the minimum. What we're going to do here is put some accommodation behind. What we're going to get is some fairly large ones. These are 198 each. I think what we'll do, I'd like to put I want to leave space for services. But I think what we'll do is we'll put you there. I don't want this city to be dense. I just want it to be... How can you put it? Put another one there. I can use you to mirror that there. And then... So what I want is a kind of a uniform style. Put one there, but a way that we can run footpaths down to feed the what we call it here. And then what we'll do is, and of course what we can do, one of the nice things about metro stations is you can actually build on top of them. So we can put another one there. And this is going to be the workforce. Actually, if we put you that way round, so we can create an odd building here and another odd building there. And then should we change to something? What's this one? And then here we're trying to put blocks here like this. That one's slightly out of line, but who cares? So what we got here is a concentration. We'll put some more buildings over there. Obviously we're going to have to put, I mean, this is going to be the university. So what we can do is run an asphalt footpath right up through to there. We could get through there, that'd be brilliant. So we could put an asphalt footpath there, and then we will put another one there, and then we will put a divider there, and of course we'll need to run one from here to there, and we'll make this a through one here like that. Right, there's a joint there that needs to be take you out there. So this would be the core accommodation, but as I say, I've left gaps in here so that we can do it. And what we can do is keep expanding out this way. Let me just measure the distance between here. I'm not exactly sure why that keeps remembering. Yeah, that's about 600 meters. So, whoops. So eventually we will build out into this area, and then this will provide the extra workforce and resources that we're going to need. We could probably put a layer of schools and kindergartens here. Of course, what we will need is the store here, but eventually we'll probably need another store down here, kind of fill that gap in as well. So eventually what we'll probably need to do is push a road out through here, because I'll be completely upfront, I've got no, I mean, I can do a very rough estimate. I mean, we're going to need 1,500 people in here, say 1,500, another 120, say 1,700. We've got coal mines down here, which are going to be 220 workers. So you can probably say that we're going to need a population of about 2,000 or 3,000 or 4,000 in this area. So, and because we've got the terrain coming down from there, we're going to have to keep it pretty dense anyway to be able to accommodate what's going on. Although we can do a little bit of, whoops, kind of terraforming here. I've got a new vehicle type. Okay, that's a 6x6 snowplow. Interesting. Let's see what that snowplow does then. I must admit, I would really like a nice snowplow. Unemployment too high, yeah, it's probably Southampton. Let's have another look at another snowplow. This is nice. Expensive, but nice. It's a K700. But is it worth paying 100,000 rubles for something that plows at 40 kilometers an hour with a top speed of 40? The top speed's not so important. I think it's too expensive for the moment because the economy's not that strong. What this would be really nice is for when, how can you put it? For when the, when we're actually manufacturing our own vehicles. Looks like we've obviously just dumped a big pile of there. I'm wondering, do I really, could I import steel? Trouble is, there's part of me that I think I'd like to increase the workforce here a bit. Okay, let me just see. I think what I will do, who's delivering food to here? Where's the... Where are you? You're a very long way away. That's not good. Alright, I do need to do a bit of remedial work here. Do I have a... Yeah, we do. Okay. I'm going to rename you... Oops. Take the caps off. Food. And now we'll call it shop. Distrib. Actually, I don't think this one is... No, you're the waste transfer. Okay. Right, what I'm going to do is bring down some cupboard holes. Maybe it's about time we modernised our area here. You're delivering to stores, so what we're going to do is get 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. Get them down into here. And then what we'll do is we'll do the store distribution from here. Who's distributing the meat? Still using trucks. Let me just see. Yeah, we're using little trucks here. Okay, let me just get a refrigeration truck in here. I'm gonna purchase a refrigeration truck. Get one of you into there. Comes the snow. Okay, you've got meat in there. Right, we're down to 3 degrees. Let's see whether we got a heating problem here. No one lives here. Yes, okay. Okay, this needs high priority on it. We need to empty this here. Right, let's just sort out. I'm going to push the priority on that. We need the priority on that as well. Because if we can get power into here. Okay, we're now getting workers on the tram stop. Where's the tram then? Let's see if he's picking up any workers. If they are picking up workers, I've got a job for you. Train waiting too long. Now we've got a problem, I think. No, we haven't. Where are you? Where are we? Okay, well, both trains are working down here now. Does that mean they finished up here? Okay, we need that done. Let me just see. Get here. That's done. This is built. build that in as well. Okay. Back to what I was planning. Is where am I looking for? Fire station. We're going to buy a couple of fire trucks. What was it again? Can't remember. Got the SKD. You're 62.23. You're 80.20. What I'm going to do is we're going to get 1, 2, 3 of these. Do we have fuel out here? No, it doesn't look like we've got fuel out here. So let me get. This guy's got. What I'm looking to do here is actually get some fire coverage. If we've got surplus workers who you still okay, you're not carrying people at the moment, but if I can get some fire trucks out here, that will give us a bit more protection here, and then we can start the slow process of ramping up this area. You've got no power supply. Not that it makes that much difference. Anyway, we're on the 6th of December now. I'm just going to wait for... What I'm going to do is scrap these guys. I think you're a little bit too slow now. And that would give us a chance to make some steel. Right. The rest of you guys change workplace to here. I want to take off the auto allocate from here. Yes, good. I put 3 medium fields here. What we're going to do is kind of work out in a kind of circle like that. Actually, I just had a thought. If I can change this to a big field. Yeah, I think we can. It's going to have an effect on the fertility, but I think if we can change you to a big field. Put you in there. Has that road connection been made? I think it's been. Well, the game could tell us. And what I want to do is move this big field up the list a bit. Back. So as this is only going to have 10% fertility, so we're going to have losses, but these will compensate eventually anyway. Well, they went all the way around there. Why didn't they come this way? Okay, so we've got 16,000 builders, low fertility. Yes, so what we've got here now is we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these. So what we're going to do is get another sowing. We want the ST5s. I think they're still the best that we can get. We've got a Stanolets here, but it's only 12 kilometers. This one's slightly slower, but it's going to do it. We're going to get another one of those. I think we don't need to worry about the thingy bobs just at the moment. Now comes a bit of a dilemma, because I want to knock this down, but, well, it's got no fuel, but it's got liquid fertilizer and what we call it in here. We got, just want to try an experiment. I've never done this before, but we're going to come here. We're going to purchase a oil tanker. Don't need anything special. Cheap and cheerful. What's the cheapest one we got here? We got this one here for 26,000. It's, yeah, I think we can buy you. And we need a waste truck again. I think the waste truck we can buy a proper one, because there's always a need for waste trucks. Talking about waste trucks and things like that, is it? Are these guys actually producing anything over here? I think they've kind of gone on strike at the moment. Missing steel, yeah. We've really got a problem with steel at the moment. This is the reason why. Where is it? I want this in. Because what I want to do is, once this is finished, in fact, I'm going to bump the priorities on this. Because what I want to do is start importing steel by rail, so that we don't keep getting, because I still haven't really solved the problem of getting this in here. So I think if I can import the steel by rail, bring it into here, and then we can scrap it. Yeah, unemployment to Southampton. Yes, we'll get to you. We'll get to you. Don't worry. Right. Actually, we'll scoot over to Southampton. We should have the what we call it now. I got the should have the trucks in here. You need to pick up food from here. Now, one problem I have got is the clothes production here. Oh, that's very icky. I think we're going to go for clothes from the customs shed. I know it's going to cost me money, but I feel that it needs to be done. You unload food and clothes there. We'll set you at 50%. Oh, we need electronics as well, but this is where things get a little bit out of whack. And we're gonna have to import electronics as well. What's the storage here? We'll knock the electronics back a little bit. I think I'd rather have a little bit more in the way of food. I think that would be okay. And then what we'll do, yeah, we've got to start getting that. We definitely need the, what we call it, we need the clothing industry online in Southsea. That's got to become a priority. You come here, wait until unloaded, and then what we can do is give these guys some jobs. It says 45 here, and then if I, what was that, the other distribution center up here, is it job distribution? It's probably going to be down the bottom here. Just make sure we got the right one. Okay, who's actually... Okay, which one is delivering to here then? I'm going to drop you to 30%. I want to see if this arrangement actually works. But once we've got food and clothes, in fact, we can... Let's put 45 sellers in here. I mean, it's really just make work over anything else. I mean, there's no point pretending otherwise. Okay, we're working on the track upgrade. Let me just get back to war stock, because if we're going to be... Yeah, we have got the open hole trucks here. How busy are these, you guys? You're moving bricks. Okay, so we're not really going flat out at the moment. So once this is ready, we can start importing the steel. Here they come. Here comes Chugaboom. Okay. Right. Back to South Sea. But yeah, it needs firefighters. Yeah, we need to build the workforce. Let me just see. Okay, is this empty now? No, it's... Of course, winter's a bad time to build anything anyway, so... there's no point doing that. Traffic jam. Oh, okay, this is a snowplow. Yeah, this guy. Okay. Just flip that. Trying to think. How can I get... Oh, my instinct is... We've got this one here, we've got this one here. I mean, we've got fairly comprehensive electrical capabilities. Let me just see. Can we get oh no, let's go with this one. What have we got in the way of electric trains? Electric locomotives. Sort by speed. We've got maximum speed of 125, 120. The trouble is, look at that cost though. 670, $500,000. This one's nearly $1 million. Is there actually any... Okay, we've got ones in game. These are even more expensive. Okay, so much for that idea, guys. What I was thinking is that maybe we could move to a full electrification here, because we've got electrification here. All the lines are electrified. On the positive side, if I do that, we won't need fuel and water here. And of course, one tip I will say is that if you don't mix trains with fuel types, especially with electricity and diesel, unless you've got a fully electrified line, because what will happen is that if you've got electrified trains with diesel and you've got a section which isn't electrified, what will eventually happen is the game will try and send an electrified train to an area which doesn't have it. I am very, very tempted to replace these. How's our economy? What's our economy for this year? You can see this year all we've made is 49,000 rubles. Oh, it's just started last year, sorry. We made 500,000 for both trains here. No, you're out moving bricks. You are... No, we're just gonna have to stay with trains until we've got more money. Do you actually have... You've got open holes in here. I think we're going to need to boost our income. What I'm going to do is... This is going to be painful, but I think it's going to be worth it in the long run. Customs house food. Just going to pause while I do this. We're going to export steel if it's over 80% to customs shed. I think the problem at the moment is that these guys are already doing it. Anyway. Okay, so much for that. Well, I think the game can balance it itself, but if it doesn't, we can always add more. We can add more flatbed trucks here. I think if we export a bit of steel, that will help us make a little bit more money, because the economy is profitable, as you can see from the fact in the last year we made 500,000 rubles, but, and it's a big but, it's still very marginal, and this is why it's very important that we get this online, even if it's going to cost us a lot of money, because we're going to have to buy ships, which is another thing we do. Do you have fuel in here? No, you don't. What's up with the fueling here? Okay, we need fueling here. I think to begin with, just to get going. Where is our... We're going to start putting fuel into here. We'll start with 20%, because I don't want to use up all our fuel, because this, it's only 100 tons, so maybe if we get that going. Okay, let me just, how are we doing over 21s? Yeah, we've got plenty of over 21s. Right, I've gone over time on the video. Let me just see. I really do need this working. Who's actually on here? We've got all sorts of people working on it. Okay, missing boards. Let me just check. All stop work crew. Yeah. What are you? Hey, you can go. You're just confusing the issue. I don't need you anymore. Okay, let me just see. You. We need you working on that, because you're not overly overworked. You. Up ground. Atom construction. Oh, this guy's got so much, it's a bit way too much to do. Anyway, we've seemed to have successfully got through our first winter here. We got some more sewage tank overflow. Okay. Haha. Got health risk here. Great. Always wanted that. Anyway, this is where I'm going to leave it. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting. And until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.